Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy, and we are here with author Katelyn Taylor. So hi. This is always fun because you're coming to us from the same time zone. So that's I love it.
It's a rarity.
It's rare. Yeah,
everyone's on the East Coast.
I know.
Yes.
Or like in the UK or something, and we're doing math.
Mm-hmm.
Australia is the one that gets me every time, though.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Because it's yeah. So hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Good.
Doing good. All right, Mandy.
All right. Well, I am having some voice issues, so hopefully like my voice keeps up for the interview. So we'll just jump right in. For those who might not know, what types of books do you write? Like types of tropes, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I honestly write a little bit of everything. I very firmly believe in not staying in my lane. I just write wherever the wind takes me. So I have a football romance series. I have an MMA romance. I have dark romance. I have forbidden. So I just have a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm. And I think lately it's been Graves is the one I keep hearing talked about quite often.
Yeah,
like that's kind of taken off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's done really well. That one came out in June.
Yeah. That was kind of funny. I was somewhere the other day, or it was in a group, and somebody was talking about. They were asking, "Have you read Graves yet?" And I was kind of snickering to myself,
I love that.
Yep. So I love that. I love that it has taken off. And you have a release coming out Tuesday on audio.
Or when yes. Okay. Yes. No. Yes. So technically, it's already released on the company's app, and so wide release like Audible and things like that. It'll be released. I think Tuesday.
Okay.
And so it's one of those things where we've worked together because Audible can kind of sometimes limit. They'll be like, "Oh, you have to give us 6 weeks notice or whatever." And so they're like, "Okay, well, while they're waiting, we're done. We're going to put it on our app early for people, And I was like, "Cool." So that is a really good one though.
That is Deceit.
Yep. And so because it's a reverse harem, there are 4 MMCs and 1 FMC, and we got a narrator for each of them, and it's in duet.
Okay.
So it is.
I have it on pre-order. I pre-ordered it through Amazon, so it's mine isn't here yet. But the minute I saw that, I was like, "Yep, I'm waiting for that sucker." So
they did so good. Like, I am not an audiobook girly at all, but like even I listen to it now, and it's hard for authors to listen to their own books because you're like, why would you say it like that? Don't you say it like that, But they did such a fantastic job. Like, I'm just obsessed with every one of those narrators.
Yay, awesome! I can't wait to hear it. So, and that's a trilogy. So, are the other books coming on audio as well?
Oh yeah. Everything BookTube's already been recorded, and it's in like being mastered and everything right now. I can't quite remember the release date. I can't remember if we're going to be able to get Book 2 out in December or if we're waiting till January, but I know that we're really shooting for Book 3 to be a simultaneous audio release, so we're hoping for that. And Book 3 comes out January 13th. So
perfect. So you don't have to wait very long to go.
No, not at all.
Awesome. Yeah.
I love your forbidden romance, Gravity.
Oh, Gratify. Yeah.
Gratify. Sorry.
No, yes. Everyone does it.
Call it Gravity. I don't know why I do that.
No, everyone does. No. Like literally 90% of people call it Gravity. And I'm like, sure, whatever. I don't care. It all works.
That's
cute. Really good. I love a forbidden romance age gap, but where there's true forbidden romance and not just like, oh, my brother doesn't want me to date his friend. Like, I don't really think that's forbidden.
I agree with you completely. Like, I even have a hard time with like the stepbrother trope when they're like, they're both 17 and he just moves in. I'm like, is that really forbidden? Come on. They didn't grow up together. It doesn't count. Like,
Yeah. And I think we both can agree too. We have a hard time with age gap when they're like, it's an age gap and it's 5 years.
Yeah.
Sometimes even 10. I go, really?
10 years and she's 17 and he's 27? Sure. That's a little bit of an age gap.
She's 27 and he's 37? No.
Yeah. I'm like, that's just daddy. What do you mean?
Exactly.
No, totally.
Exactly what it is.
No.
Yes.
I completely agree. Like in Deceit, one of the MMCs, I believe he's 11 years older. I don't really advertise it as an age gap though, because it's only one of the MMCs.
Yeah.
So it's like, you get a little bit of it, but like in Gratify, it's a 22-year age gap. So There we go. That's what
That
we're
is an
talking
age gap.
about.
That works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that book has it all because it's like technically her boyfriend's, like ex-boyfriend's dad, and
Mhm.
then he's her guardian, and
Mhm.
he's also her dad's best friend. So it's
Mhm.
like he's all of those forbidden things.
And he's her godfather. He was the second person
Yes.
to ever hold her. Like,
Yes.
we love it.
Hmm.
Yes. But
That's what I call taboo. That is
Yeah.
taboo.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
And
right
yeah,
up
and
my alley.
that's where I've found my like comfort and my love is
Hmm.
dark romance like Graves where it's just super fucked up and unhinged,
Yes.
or
Yes.
like taboo and forbidden like Gratify where you're like, this is honestly
Mhm.
gross. I love it. Like I want more.
Yes.
You know?
That's,
Yeah,
that is
that's
my
like my favorite.
full TBR right
Yeah.
there. So
As
yeah.
it should be. Yeah.
Mhm. Exactly. I
Love
get
it.
bored with the normal lovey
Yeah.
gushy stuff. So
Well,
yeah.
and I feel like I got desensitized because I read so much of that stuff way
Mhm.
before I started writing that I was like, it's not really doing it for me. So then
Yeah.
I go and read about a little bit of knife play and I'm like, okay, I'm
I found
listening.
when I first really got started reading, like back 2020 is when I really got into reading. I jumped immediately from reading like fan fiction
Mhm.
straight into dark romance, and
Awesome.
I mean that is just straight where I went. So
Yeah.
you always gotta up the bar because you're constantly getting
Mhm.
desensitized to things. I do have palate cleansers that pop in every once in a while.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's necessary, but like a palette cleanser can still have like darkish elements, you know? It doesn't have to be like pitch black,
No,
which,
no,
you know, I would say Graves is edging the line of pitch black. It's pretty
it's
fucking dark at times.
yeah, it has its moments for
It has its
sure.
moments, yeah.
It's just sad when you go into a book and you're like, oh, this guy seems like he's got it all together. Well, somewhat. I mean, he is an assassin, right?
Yeah.
But the brother who's totally messed up, now
Yeah.
that's my happy place.
Absolutely. But and you have to have that balance though, right? Because
Yeah.
if the unhinged one is the only one in the picture,
Mhm.
the world will burn. Like it's
Exactly.
just, you know, you gotta have balance. You have to have someone kind of yank his leash a little bit.
A little bit, a little bit.
Yep.
Works for me though.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you have a favorite book you've written or a favorite character?
That's like me having to choose a child. It depends on the
I
day.
know.
It
I'm
depends on
sorry.
the day. Who's behaving today?
Exactly. That's
Mhm.
exactly right. So I
Mhm.
think that Graves, just on its own, if I had to pick one book, Graves is just my baby because it was so much fun to write and so
Mhm.
much people enjoy it and that's so much fun for me. But as far as like a series, this Gallows Hill series is like my absolute favorite. I've worked on it for over a year and a half. Like I've gone to Salem, I've done the research, I have like a contact list full of witches and tarot card readers that I have spoken to and interviewed and everything. Like I have dove so deep into this.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed with it. And now that I finished the third book, I'm like, what do I do now?
Yeah. Yeah. So this one is when I was kind of looking at it because I mean I've had it on prayer. I'm like, yes, let's
Yeah.
do it. It's
Yeah.
secret society, arranged marriage type
Mhm.
thing. Like it's got
Yep.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
yeah, so essentially it's the secret society is the all of the men that were responsible for burning the witches in the witch trials.
Okay. Okay.
And after the trials, they were like, oh shit, what if we missed a couple? They're going to come for us. We need to kind of like
Mhm.
band together.
Mhm.
And so over the last 300 and some years, it became this weird, twisted, culty society to where they're all like, oh, witch, but like they're acting more like witches than anyone, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And then so it's reverse harem. So it's basically this girl that gets thrown into this world and she was like the tucked away jewel, right? And comes in and she's like, wait, what is this all about? What's this society? What's going on? Why is everyone so weird?
Okay.
And then just like dick, you know.
And then
So yeah. That sums it up.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good to me.
Yeah. Like, do you need to know anything else?
No, I think
Yeah.
you covered all the basics.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Mhm.
There's
I like
plot
that.
and there's spice. That's all that
Yes,
matters.
which is exactly what we need. Yes.
Yeah. And I will say, like, especially Demise, but like Descent and Demise, the last two books, they're spicier than Graves.
Okay.
So
All right. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they have plot, so that works for me. I
Yeah,
am more of a plot
absolutely.
girl, but
I am too.
I mean, I need that too. But I trust you.
Yeah. Trust the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
I think we counted, and I think it's like 19 spicy chapters in Demise.
Oh, that's
I'm like, well, when you have this much cock, what do I do? Everyone's got to have their time.
they do. I mean, that's kind of when you write a reverse harem. That's just kind of the thing, right? You have to give everybody equal time, and you have to explore all those characters. It makes the books longer.
Exactly. Oh yeah, it's the longest book I've ever written. It came out to like 132,000 words,
Okay.
and I think Graves is like 90,000.
Okay.
So like, it's significantly longer.
Yes, but you have more to explore, so that makes sense.
It's a good time.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
So if somebody was new to reading you, where would you recommend that they start?
I think it would just depend on what they're interested in. If they are full on dark romance, I would say start with Graves because it's a standalone. It's nice and easy to just jump into. If they're more contemporary / sports, I would suggest The Loyalties We Break, which is the first book in my Alphalete series, or Jagged Hearts, which is a standalone MMA romance. Those are like kind of the two. It's funny because you mentioned Gratify. I have kind of stopped promoting Gratify. It just doesn't do well, and I don't know why. Like, people love it when they read it, but like the algorithms suppress it so much, and I just don't know if it's because it's too forbidden. But TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, they all hate Gratify, and they never let me promote it. So I'm just like, okay, well, maybe it'll just be a backlist thing,
Yeah, because the same week that Mandy read it, it started popping up in all of like my Facebook groups that I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
With everybody was talking about it. And I was like, oh, is this new? And then I realized, nope, it's not new.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the same time, so I'm really surprised because I heard a lot about it around that time. So
yeah, I know, and just kind of one of those things. Not every book is ever gonna like be this big storm surge or anything like that. But yeah, I found myself stop advertising because I'm like, I keep getting in trouble with TikTok and Facebook and stuff for advertising it. So I'm like, someone will find it eventually. But I love it.
It's out there.
It's one of my favorite books because there is so much depth to it that I really enjoyed. It's not just spicy for being spicy or forbidden for being forbidden. It's very heavy on trauma bond and grief and working through that and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. It's very plot thick, not just taboo. I actually really like that. Like, I don't like insta love and taboo.
Yeah.
I need them to like really not like need to like they should not be together.
Absolutely.
And then for whatever reason they like cannot stay apart from each other, but they both are like, but this isn't okay. Like that whole back
He's
and
in
forth
her.
thing.
This is not okay. We're like, yes. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
In my book. Yes.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think you've probably already touched on this a little bit, but is there anything that you're currently working on or any upcoming projects that you could share with us?
No.
Okay.
There is stuff coming. There is a standalone that is going to be connected to the Gallows Hill trilogy.
Okay.
And it will be announced. It's going to be in the back of the book, so it'll be announced. People will start figuring it out once they read the book, and then I'll make an announcement probably after Demise's release week.
Okay.
But I'm very excited for that book. That book is going to be. I've told a couple people, so I just won't tell you really who it's about. But it's going to be FF.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be forbidden. So I'm super excited about it, but it's going to parallel the entire storyline of the Gallows Hill series, but just from someone else's POV.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. So
interesting.
It'll be sometime next year.
It'll be coming out. I haven't quite decided. Late March to early April.
Okay.
Somewhere around
sooner
there.
rather than later.
Yep.
Perfect. Yeah. That's exciting. Yay.
Yeah.
So how did you become a romance writer?
Okay, so I'm just gonna be honest. I'm really impulsive, and like so impulsive. And I was like reading one day, and I was like, I can't remember what book it was, but I was reading, and I was like, oh man, I wish it would have ended like this. And then I was like, what would have been cooler is if maybe this happened. Oh, I'm like, oh, well, what about that? And then I just kind of like wrote a book. I just like was like, oh, I should just write this down. And I just sat down and wrote it in probably 3 weeks, and I just published that shit. I didn't I didn't get an editor, I didn't get art team or anything. I just published it to Amazon.
Oh, you were impulsive. Look at you go.
So terrible, and they were bad. They were so bad. They have been removed from Amazon.
I was gonna say, are they still out there?
No, like years ago I removed them, and everyone's like, when is it getting re-released? I'm like, I don't know if it'll ever get re-released. We're not good. But yeah, and it was kind of great though, because it was just one of those things where I was just like, no, I'm just gonna do this. And I just kept doing it until the books got better.
Yeah. It's kind of like us with our channel. We tell people, please don't go back and watch our first couple of videos. Please don't go watch them.
Yeah, no, I bet.
That doesn't matter as you get used to it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, as you figure it out.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, it was kind of great because it was like a really good way to like learn on my feet, but at the same time it was also like, oh my god, what have you done? So, you know, it's fine. It's a balance.
I can be impulsive, so I feel you there. I would have been like, I just want to get this out right now.
Yeah.
Look at all the steps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how do you come up with your ideas now?
I'm just crazy and I hear voices now. And I probably have like 25 book ideas just in my phone alone. And so it's just one of those things where I just sit there and write, you know, and I do my thing, and then something will pop up and I'll be like Graves was totally unplanned. And I was just I can't even remember if I had a dream or just like a thought one day, and I was like, be so cool if there's like unhinged twins obsessed. And then I was like, let's write it. And I did. And I just like, again, see, impulsive.
It's great.
Yeah. And and I shoved everything else to the side and I just did it. And so it's kind of one of those things where, a lot of the times I just randomly have one small thought and then it just blooms. A lot of my friends all like sit there and be voice messaging them ideas and stuff, and they're just like, I love the way your brain works because you're so like ding 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 ding, and then you have a whole book. And I'm like, yeah.
It's beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you're not busy writing, what do you like to do in your free time?
I don't know what free time is.
I know. I hear you.
That's what everybody. Yeah, what is that?
No, genuinely, I have a very busy life. My youngest is very medically needy, and then she's also in a special school program. So I take her to and from school or appointment every couple of hours every day, and then I homeschool my oldest, and then I write, and then I'm also a stay-at-home mom, and so.
Yes.
I don't have free time. I do love to like bake a lot. I like to bake and cook, so I do that a lot. But yeah, no, honestly, free time has not been something I've had in a long time.
No. I don't know. I mean, now that the kids are older, like we make our free time. It's typically when we go to these events, that is our free time. When we go to author signings. But other than that, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, no, like I have 5 events planned next year, and I'm like, I used up all of my chips next year. Like I can't do anything else besides those events.
Yeah, Mandy, how many do we have next year?
Oh, we're going to quite a few as well. So hopefully we'll see you at a few.
I think we're like at 5 or 6. So yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But what else you got there, Mandy? I know it's on the list.
Just going back to your free time, I have seen a few videos where it looks like you do enjoy going to the craft store.
Yeah. I'm like, there we go. I'm a huge Christmas nut. So ever since like November 1st, my house has been decorated for Christmas.
Mine too.
Yeah, I love it. And my argument is I decorate for fall September 1st. I take it down October 31st. Like, why do I get 2 months of joy for fall and only 1 month for Christmas? That doesn't make sense. So we're going to do more because you spend more time on all of the decorations anyways. So
yeah, they're better anyway.
Like, it's girl math. It's fine.
It is.
That's what I told my husband as he's setting up the tree like November 4th. I'm like, La, la, la. He's like, does this really need to be up? I'm like, absolutely it does.
We get a real tree every year, so the tree comes after Thanksgiving, but
Yeah.
everything else, no, I'm the one. Mandy decorates. I'm the one that's like, I have Halloween, then I have Thanksgiving decorations, then I have Christmas decorations. But
Yeah.
this year, my 14-year-old, she's almost 15, but 14-year-old was like, can I please decorate for Christmas early? So
Yeah.
the house is decorated, and
Oh, I love that.
it is what it is. I'm like, this is okay. But it just, there's just more decorations. We've got more things. So, and then when you take down your decorations, you're like, why does the house look so bare?
It does. I'm like, okay, well, I'm ready to
Exactly.
move because, you know, I don't have
Exactly.
anything in here. Yeah.
Exactly. So, okay.
So this is not on our list of questions, but I'm just really curious.
Yeah.
Did your husband film you in the Christmas aisle with like the Christmas things, and you were like,
Oh,
wanna...
no.
Oh.
No, that was my best friend. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, she is like usually if my hands are showing, she's usually the one that's recording unless I have a ring light.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that and I'm like, oh, that is hilarious. I wonder who she got to record that for her, and
Oh
how many
yeah.
people walked by going, what is happening?
Oh yeah, she has like absolutely no shame. She's the one that I was like, "Oh god, what do I do?" She was like, "Oh my god, grab that wine stopper and put it on your ass." And I was like, "That's why we're best friends." Absolutely. Done.
You know, Mandy, I have to apologize because I don't let you do anything fun like that.
God, you need to step it up.
No. Well,
Yeah.
when we were in Vegas, one of our videos that we did was Vegas weddings. So books that had people who got married in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
And at the Paris, you know, we went upstairs, we checked out the chapel. There were people in there, so we didn't go all the way in. But she's like, do you think we can ask them if we could film here in the chapel? And I was like, no, we are not asking them that.
Why?
Exactly.
I didn't want to be told no. I don't like to be told no.
Okay, I do understand that because usually in a group, I am like the person that's very much a rule follower, and then my friends are the ones that are like, "Oh, I'll just ask," and I'm like, "Okay, go ask." I'll just
Yeah,
sit
I
here."
know. I know. It was one of those, I just don't want to get told no and then feel embarrassed. And I didn't want to. Yeah, so I'm
No.
sorry, Mandy. I'm a very bad best friend. I should encourage you to do the crazy stuff, apparently.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Why
right.
not? You know?
Why not? Yeah.
So who are some of your favorite authors or some favorite books you've read?
Oh God, I'm gonna be totally honest. I haven't read in like a year. I don't have time anymore. It's so sad. And also one of those things where I actually like not reading because I know that all of my ideas are 100% my own, because it's so impossible to read a book and not save some of that for later. I like not reading because I feel like sometimes you could accidentally pull from someone else's book, even if it's just like, oh, he's gonna save her and this will happen. You know, that's a very broad thing that can happen, but like,
You just don't want to be influenced by it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, and I miss it, and I'm hoping that I'll like settle down enough to read books soon again. But at the same time, I'm just like, you know, I've got so much on my plate, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I will sit here and shamelessly plug my friends, absolutely, because they are all wonderful and talented and incredible people. I mean, Lee Rivers, amazing. You want dark romance, like Lee is it. Little Stranger is dark and fucked up and delicious, you know. You know, we've got K Cove if you're looking for something a little more contemporary. She has Camera Shy, that is like body positivity. It's neighbor gives her bedroom lessons and teaches her to be like comfortable in her own skin and stuff. So that's a nice one. We've got Nuha Julian. She has the Diablos, I'm pretty sure is how you say it, series. It's a dark romance. She's amazing. I'm like, I've got so many.
So wait,
Alexander
how do you?
Lee, you know?
I haven't heard of her. How do you spell her name?
It's NouhaA. I don't
That's
know.
close enough. We'll
I'll
find
send
it.
it to you.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
send
I
it to
just
us.
know
I'm
that
like,
she's
wait,
wonderful.
she said dark. Because I haven't heard of her, and we love to pull out authors that we haven't heard. Like that is our thing on our channel, is reading authors that need more hype that just don't get the hype. So
yeah, no, and she's amazing, and she lives just in Canada. I met her at Sinners and Stardust this last year, and she's just the sweetest thing ever, and her books are fantastic. So
is she right here in BC?
No, I think she's like on the other side by like
Okay.
near Toronto, I think.
Okay, on the other side. Yeah. Yeah.
Watch, she's gonna be watching this. She'll be like, "You dumb bitch. That's not where I live."
That's not where
I'm at.
I'm really surprised by who lives. I mean, like, I'm on the border. I'm on the
Yeah.
Washington side of the border, but I'm always really surprised to find out which authors are right here in Vancouver. And they're just, they're here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know them enough to stalk them, but they're here. So
yeah, they're here.
we did have, we were on, when we've met her a couple times, but Gianna Darling was on our flight coming home from Vegas. And she was like, we were all exhausted, but it's like, oh, look, there's
we're on
like
an early flight.
We were on a 6 a.m. flight out of Vegas. But we were like,
don't recommend.
But I'm like, oh yeah, duh, she's going to Vancouver, so she's on the same path that we're on. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, that leads me to the next question. Will we see you at any author signings?
What? Okay, so I think one I technically can't announce just yet, but so one. And then I'm gonna be at Babe Australia in end of May.
Okay.
And then I will be going to Fair Bay in Portland.
Okay.
And then I will be going to Rare London in July.
Girl.
You're just
And then I will be going to Sinners and Stardust in Boston. And then I will be going to Book Harvest Con in Chicago.
Okay. So you're not going to do Love in Seattle?
No, because it's the same weekend as Sinners and Stardust.
Okay. Oh, that's why. I was going to, we've looked at Sinners and Stardust. We've looked at both of them. We had to make that decision, and Seattle's closer, obviously. So yeah, less flighting, but
Well, man, we will not see you at any of those.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah,
which
we have
to
just
go to
as many.
Australia or London.
I know.
So
they're
sad.
on our list of places to
Where
go.
are you guys going?
Mandy, you have the list.
We have Wild and Windy West, so the Phoenix one in February. Then Beyond the Author and Reader event in Ohio.
Beyond the Read.
Beyond the Read. Sorry.
Yeah. We're going there as influencers for that one.
Fun. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's our first time.
Then we're going to BB4E. Then Love in Seattle. Then Be Love, Spread Love in Vegas as influencers. And then we're going to Love in Vegas again. And I feel like there might have been one other one that I'm forgetting.
Those all sound like so much fun.
They'll be great. We we love doing the author signings. So and now
so much fun.
We've been doing this our second year, so we've gotten, we've cut our teeth at these events. So we have, a nice baseline of books from a lot of the authors that are at these events. So that now we just go and get, I want to say 2 or 3, but that's not what happens. It's no longer 55. It's more like 20. So, it's kind of nice. So
did any
I
of
don't know.
those
Some people still get hundreds. It doesn't matter how many they go.
Do. It's insane. Yeah, it's crazy. Because I'm like, how do you get those home?
I know. Well, and I think a lot of people that do that drive. And so that's easier. But
yeah.
Well,
even so.
Jessica and I were both thankful for the scales outside of the Vegas airport when we flew home.
Yeah. I have a portable scale. It's like something you hook it around your bag, like the top, and then you lift it. Yep. And that's a savior for me. It's like pretty on par. So I cut it close with that thing.
Yeah. Mandy, write that down. We need one of those.
We probably
they're
really
like $10 on Amazon.
I mean, we really should, because we're always like, we have our system, but those book carts that you take to these events, they actually weigh quite a bit. And
they weigh like 10 pounds at least. Yeah.
So we know what we can fit. Normally it's all in our carry-on for the most part, because we're afraid that the airlines are going to screw us over anyway. So, or lose them. But even that, lifting it over your head to put it in the bins and stuff, it's just, normally on the way home, I'm like, yeah, I'll gate check. I mean, I know I don't want them to lose it, but I know it's going straight down there, so it should be okay.
Yep.
But, because they get heavy. They're heavy. Totally. They get heavy, especially if you're buying hardbacks and special editions. They get very heavy fast. So
they do. Absolutely.
And I don't trust some boy who works in the baggage department to know how to handle my books.
Oh my God,
So.
they like drop kick the bags. I've like watched them do it. I'm just like, oh my God, okay.
Yeah, those hard case luggage, like the hard cases, is the best way to go.
Absolutely.
Was it last year on the way home from Vegas? People were talking about their Vegas getting wet, Mandy?
Yeah, it was a couple years ago, a couple of Vegases ago. But yeah, like some people had said that their bags got wet. So I don't know if they had a connecting flight somewhere, but they had like a cloth bag and then it got into their books. And I was like, oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, it's insane. Just to think about how much money that is too. So it's just,
yeah.
And irreplaceable because some authors don't offer signed paperbacks outside of signings.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
I feel like it's part of the experience. So like even when you can order a book from an author and they sign it and put it in the mail to you, that's still cool. But it's not the same as like being there and like saying hi to the author and having them sign the book and having like a quick conversation. Like it's just it's a whole different experience.
Yeah, really.
And you don't get to pick a dildo out of my box, so it's like, what's the fun, you know?
So I was just setting this up. I have my suitcases that are put out in the garage, and I got one. I got one from you in Vegas, out of the box, and I actually
the good girl box.
The good girl box, yes. And I put it in mine wasn't it was a vibrator, but I put it in like the zipper pocket, and I'm telling my husband, he's like, awesome, bring that home. Well, I was just looking at him before we started. He's sitting in here, and I was like, where'd that go? Like, I didn't see it. And I remembered, it was in a zipper pocket that I never use. And so that's out in the garage. I'm like, you got to go get that down from the attic. Like, I need
it. Come on.
So, we get great gifts when we see you in person. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, for anyone watching that's coming to one of my signings, if you buy a book or pre-order, you get to reach your hand in the good girl box. And there were some memorable items in Vegas.
I do remember reaching in because Mandy went first and then you refilled it before I could get in there. And I were reaching into it and going, it feels like whips and chains in here. Like, what is
Absolutely.
Here? And then when I was like, this feels familiar. What is this? And that's when I pulled it out. I was like, oh, I won. So
you're like, I win.
Score. So
there was literally like a butt plug that I swear to God was like this wide. And I looked at it and the girl grabbed it out and looked at her husband. And I was like, y'all are going to have to do anal before you put that in. Like, I'm so sorry. Rest in peace to your butthole. Like,
I couldn't imagine that conversation. I mean, I couldn't imagine that conversation, but
yeah, I love making husbands embarrassed. It's hilarious because they like try to be brave at these events, but like they're so outnumbered. They don't have a chance.
No. They have no clue what they're stepping into. I'm always surprised when people bring their husbands. A lot of people do. And I'm like,
I think it's great though.
He'd be like, how much have you spent today? So I'd be
who wants that tracking happening?
And then second of all, he'd be like, hey, I heard about this in line. You want to go up to the hotel room and try it? I'm like, no, I'm sleeping with Mandy tonight. So no, I don't want to.
You're like, we'll do it later.
Yeah, later. Just put that on your bucket list. We'll get to it
eventually. It was bad enough when my husband picked us up from the airport and had to lift Jessica and I's suitcases into the back. There's some questions about why they weighed so much.
You're like, no idea.
No, mine doesn't even question it anymore because then we went from the hotel because we flew home early to go to a Seahawks game. So that's why we left so early. So we met the husbands. Mine just knows, just put it in the car. Don't even ask anymore. Just put it in the car. Don't even comment. Although I did start unloading them and he's like, where are you going to put all of those? Your bookshelves are full. And I'm like, I need new bookshelves.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was like, Mandy just got new bookshelves. I need new bookshelves.
Yeah. It's like Regina George. Like Mandy got new bookshelves, so I got new bookshelves.
Exactly.
And Mandy got new bookshelves and then came home from Vegas and is almost out of room again.
Oh yeah, that happens. And based on the amount of events you're going to, I'd say that's in your future again.
It happens.
It is a good problem to have.
It is.
Yeah.
There is a big difference between buying books and reading books, and I participate in both hobbies.
Oh, I love that.
Don't crack.
Not everyone can say that. You hold on to that.
Yes. I will.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I don't read my physical books. They're just there to look pretty.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you would like to share?
I can't tell you anything else right now.
Okay.
Those darn NDAs. Come on.
I know. Lots of exciting stuff coming next year, though.
Yes. Cool.
Yes, we will make sure to keep everyone updated as we know about that stuff as well too.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So in the meantime, what is the best way for readers to connect with you?
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I feel like I usually live on Instagram the most just because I feel like it's the easiest to like chat with people and everything. I think it's the most user friendly. So all of my handles are Katelyn Taylor author. Slide into my DMs. I love the unhinged updates when people are like, Katelyn, oh my God. I'm like, oh no. And I'm like, wait, what are you reading? But like, I want to match your energy. Tell me.
I love that. And you're pretty quick about getting back, so, or about reading the messages.
Yeah, I try to be.
Yeah. Great. All right. Well, I guess that's it for us, right, Mandy? Nothing else?
Yes, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. All right, guys. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video.